She was a simple girl from a small town in the Philippines. Her name was Aria Mendoza, but soon, millions would come to know her as the Filipina Nightingale. Her voice was pure, crystal, and carried something that was almost otherworldly. But behind that golden tone was a fragile soul fighting the one thing even fame couldn't conquer: time. Aria grew up in a humble home on the outskirts of Cebu. Her father drove a tricycle, and her mother sold homemade snacks to help pay for Aria's schooling. They didn't have much, but what they did have was love, and a daughter whose voice could make even the waves stop to listen. From the age of 5, Aria would sing in the small church by the sea. Her mother used to say, "When my daughter sings, even angels stop to cry." Music became her world, her escape, and her prayer. But life, as it often does, threw challenges too big for her small shoulders. At 16, Aria was diagnosed with a rare heart condition. Doctors told her she had to take it easy, no stress, no long performances, no overexertion. But how do you tell a songbird not to sing? Aria's parents worried endlessly, but their daughter only smiled. "Mama," she would say, "if my heart is weak, then let my song be strong enough for both of us." Her dream was clear: to one day perform on the world's biggest stage, America's Got Talent. She watched every season, memorizing the faces of Simon Cowell, Howie Mandel, Heidi Klum, and Sofia Vergara. One day, she whispered to her reflection, "They'll hear me too." Years passed. Her health declined, but her dream didn't. She sang in local events, weddings, even outside malls, saving every peso she could. Her small performances would draw crowds, people recording her with their phones, posting her videos online. One night, a clip of her singing, "You Raise Me Up," went viral, reaching millions within days. Comments flooded in from around the world. "Who is this angel? Her voice healed something inside me. This girl deserves the world stage." And one of those millions of views caught the attention of a talent scout connected to AGT. A simple message changed her life forever. "Hi Aria, we saw your video. Would you like to audition for America's Got Talent this season?" She read the message over and over, tears blurring the screen. Her heart raced. Literally, and her mother begged her to rest. But Aria's decision was made. "Mama, even if this is the last stage one ever step on, I have to do this." 2 months later, Aria found herself in Los Angeles, stepping into the Dolby Theater. The bright lights, the massive stage, the buzzing crowd, everything she had dreamed of was now real. But under her loose white dress, a small heart monitor blinked softly. When her turn came, she walked out barefoot, trembling but smiling. Simon looked up, curious. "Hello there. What's your name and where are you from?" "My name is Aria Mendoza," she said, her accent soft, her eyes shining. "I'm from the Philippines." The crowd cheered instantly. Simon nodded. "And what are you going to do for us today?" "I'm going to sing, because singing is what keeps me alive." A gentle murmur rippled through the audience. Nobody knew what she meant, not yet. The music began. It was "The Prayer," the song that once made Andrea Bocelli and Celine Dion legends. But when Aria sang it, it was as if the world itself paused. Her voice was fragile but full of faith, trembling with pain and strength all at once. Every note rose higher, carrying something divine. Simon leaned forward. Heidi put her hand on her heart. People in the audience were crying before the first verse ended. And when she reached the final line, "Let this be our prayer, when we lose our way," her voice cracked slightly, but that single crack made it human, real, unforgettable. The last note hung in the air, echoing like a whisper from heaven. Silence. Then, a thunderstorm of applause. Everyone stood. Simon Cowell himself, known for being hard to impress, stood with tears in his eyes. He took a deep breath. "Aria," he said, voice trembling, "I have judged this show for years. I have heard thousands of singers. But what you just did, I will remember for the rest of my life." He reached for the golden buzzer. The hall exploded in golden confetti, falling like blessings from above. Aria stood frozen, her hands covering her mouth, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her mother, watching from the wings, sobbed uncontrollably. The moment went viral across the globe. Overnight, she became a sensation. News channels called her the Filipina Nightingale who touched the world. Celebrities shared her video. Hospitals played her song for patients, saying it brought hope. But behind the fame, Arya's health continued to fade. Her heart condition worsened from the strain of travel and stress. She spent long nights in hospitals, yet she never complained. When nurses asked why she smiled through pain, she'd whisper, "Because I've already lived my dream." Weeks passed as AGT progressed. Fans waited eagerly for her next performance. Despite doctors' warnings, Arya insisted on performing live for the semifinals. She chose a song close to her soul, "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." When she walked on stage that night, she looked weaker but radiant. She told the judges, "This song is for everyone who still believes in hope, even when the storm doesn't pass." The lights dimmed. Her voice floated through the air, delicate yet fierce, painting colors with sound. People said later that her rendition didn't just sound beautiful, it felt like goodbye. When the song ended, she placed her hand on her chest and whispered something softly in Filipino, "Salamat, mundo. Thank you, world." The crowd erupted again. Simon stood and clapped slowly, a rare smile trembling on his face. Arya advanced to the finals, but she never made it to the stage again. 2 nights before the final show, her heart gave out quietly in her sleep. Her mother found her peacefully smiling, as if she was still hearing the applause. The world woke up to heartbreaking news. Filipina AGT singer Arya Mendoza passes away days before finale. Social media flooded with tributes. Fans lit candles across the Philippines. The AGT producers dedicated the finale to her memory, opening the show with her recorded voice. Simon Cowell spoke through tears. She reminded us that sometimes, a single song can be stronger than a lifetime. Her mother flew back home with Arya's ashes and her golden buzzer trophy, clutching them to her heart. She placed the trophy by the sea, where Arya used to sing as a little girl. People say when the wind passes that shore at sunset, it still carries her voice, faint, gentle, eternal. And months later, her AGT audition video crossed 1 billion views. People kept writing, "I didn't know her, but she changed me." Her story inspired foundations supporting children with heart conditions. A school in Cebu named its music hall, the Arya Room. And every year, singers around the world perform the prayer in her honor. In the end, Arya Mendoza didn't just win the hearts of millions, she healed them. Her dream wasn't just to sing on the world stage, it was to leave behind a piece of heaven on earth through her voice. And she did, because sometimes, the most beautiful songs come from the most fragile hearts. And when those hearts stop beating, their echoes never die. If this story touched you, remember to share it, because somewhere out there, another young soul is dreaming, believing, and singing through pain, and your share might be the wind beneath their wings. This is our channel, where stories like this remind the world that kindness, courage, and hope still exist. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep believing in the power of good hearts and unforgettable voices.